How's it going, everybody? In today's video, I'm going to be showing you my new recent purchase of this 1986 Fox Body Mustang with a 302 5-speed in it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and, before I get into detail, I'm going to go ahead and show you the car, and then I'm just going to go ahead and get it unloaded instead of going into great detail of the car. But once I get it unloaded, then we'll go in great detail. But I'll just go ahead and show you the car real quick. Here's the car, and it is a notchback. Let me go ahead and get it unloaded, and I'll get a more in detail walk around video of the car. Alright, now that we get it off the trailer, we can do a little bit better look around of it and everything like that. From what I could see, because I really didn't do anything, I just kind of paid the guy and, left, which I'll show that. I'll get the recording and maybe I can show it like somewhere here and play it through, showing me buying it and everything like that. But I'll see if I can play it now. So how'd you end up with it?
When I lived in Fort White, this man down the street owned it, and I had my eye on it for a long time. And finally, my dad struck up a deal with him. We did a little bit of work for him, and I got it. It's a nice car. It's got a good motor, great motor.
Right.
Right back here.
Let me guess, buried behind everything?
Yep, right behind this truck.
Alright.
This is it. It's a bit of a Frankenstein. It's got a 82 front end on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We tried to do some work in it. I put a new spark plug in it, or new spark plugs, and I put a new computer in it as well. But what are you planning on doing? Are you just gonna pull the motor and transmission out?
No. I mean, I'd like to try and get that running. I've got a SN95, which is just a little bit newer than this. It's got a single on-3 turbo kit on it, and I don't have an EFI one of these. All the ones I have are all carbureted, so.
Oh yeah.
Plan on just using leaving the same engine in it and putting a turbo kit in it.
We were gonna maybe throw a carburetor on it and try to get it running, but I got a truck and I don't want to work on this anymore. I don't have the time to do it or the money, so.
Right.
Yeah, but
right.
Let me move this truck for you.
All right. Yeah.
If you want to pull around back, if you can.
Right. I may have to unhook my trailer and just drag it out.
Okay. Whatever works for you.
All right. I'll just go ahead and pay you and start unloading or getting it ready to be able to start doing stuff. Oh, let's see where I'm not going to rip the frame out.
The bolts for the seats are right under the emergency brake. I took them out, the seats out, just to clean out the car.
Oh, this is going to be fun. Believe it or not, this is not the first, and nor probably the third time that I have sat in a Mustang with no seat in it.
Oh, wow.
These are, I don't know, might be able to just get it in the general zip code.
Yeah.
Oop.
It's got some pretty bad sun damage on these. It was sitting for about 9 years when I got it.
That's funny. That's exactly how long my first Fox Body, I have an 85.
Oh yeah.
Sat exactly 9 years in the guy's side yard. And yeah, it pretty much just fired up.
Yeah, it's got power. We were able to get it to turn over, but it's some kind of electrical problem we couldn't figure out. We didn't have time to do it, so.
I'm sure I'll get it figured out.
Yeah.
All right, you good? Oh. Turn your wheel right. Oh, hold on. Oh, wheel came off. Dang. Wheel came off. I gotta grab a jack. Wheel came off. Oh. It would appear.
It's always a good sign when a tire falls off.
I know they were tight.
Was there all on there or was it just one?
Yeah, all of them were on there. They all fell off. They were laying in the road.
God dang. Maybe somebody backed them off, they borrowed them and maybe just put them back on there and forgot to tighten them. Or
Yeah, that is a possibility.
I'm good for that. I have one that'll be missing 2 or 3 and I'll borrow it and bring it back. Guess it might be a good idea to check the rest of them.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I got an impact. I can impact them the rest of the way on there. Alright, now that I've done that, we can go ahead and do a walk around of this thing. It does look like it has newer tires on it. I'm going to try and be as fast as possible when I do this because I do want to try and hurry up and see if I can get it running. But, as you can see, it's pretty solid. I haven't even really looked through the car at all to see what's all in there. I know it seems like it might have a short throw shifter. Doors and all that closed. There's a little bit of, you know, missing paint here and stuff like that. But I did look underneath it and it is all solid, it appears. I'll try and get up quick. You can kind of see it's pretty solid. Trunk lid is a little rusty, as you can see. These parts I actually bought on the way back home from picking this car up, so these parts weren't here. I don't know what this wing is off of. I'm not really a fan of it, but it'll probably end up going. As you can see back here, it was a little bit dented at some point. But outside door handle, of course, doesn't work. And the seat isn't bolted down. I don't know if that one's bolted down or not. Yeah, so let me get in here and show you. The odometer shows 6,595 miles. I would assume more than that. But yeah, you can see the wiring's a little bit of a mess. It does have what feels like a short throw shifter, and if anybody knows what these shifters are, because there's a little button here in the middle, you know, let me know. The computer over there is not plugged in. It comes with a brand new computer that I don't know if that's what it needs or what. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and show the engine, and yeah, do that. I'll go hop out here. Good old classic door shutting sound. And he also said, I think it's supposed to be an 83 front clip. This is an 86. So yeah. Please excuse the music in the background. I have a lot of festive neighbors. Go ahead and get this hood propped up. Now this is kind of a little bit of a rush video because I do want to see if I can make this thing run and drive, so I'm going to probably skip through a lot. But as you can see, it is a 302, and I don't know what all they've done or what's what. Supposedly, I think he said he put some spark plugs in it, maybe. But yeah, it's missing the belt. It supposedly spins over. I have not tried. I am not sure. But we'll probably throw a battery in it and just see if it cranks over. But we'll go ahead and check oil, see how it looks. Well, it's got oil. Smells like oil. That's good. It does have headers, which is good. No radiator cap, no fluid. We do have a negative and we do have a positive. So what I'll try and do is just see if I can, I guess, crank it over and dump some gas in the intake and see if it'll run. I have very little hopes, but yeah. There's the throttle body. Oh, it's not stuck. That's good. Alright, yeah, I'll go ahead and toss a battery in it and see if we can get it to crank over. Try and get a camera set up and go from there. Definitely does look like it has new plugs in it, but yeah, do that and go from there. Alright, so if we got a battery kind of customized, hooked up with how they have it, or how they had it, with a ground hot. We're just going to see if it cranks over first. Oh, let's see. Key on, not seeing any lights. Clutch in. Nothing. Nothing at all. I don't know if it's something to do with this or their wiring or something else, but see if I can figure that out, because we're not getting nothing. Oh, seen what looked like check engine or check oil at some point. Oh, something's, oh, there's something wrong with the ignition, or I mess with the ignition. It's if I have the ignition held at a certain point, it tries and does something. I don't know. Let me mess with it a little bit and try and figure it out. Alright, so far, this is what we have. Clicking the starter solenoid, because the clutch bypass has been bypassed, so that's what was keeping it from starting. Might be able to go out there and jump the solenoid. We'll try that. Alright, so we got ignition on. We got a little solenoid here. We're going to jump it, see if it'll crank over. Spins over like it's got a brand new starter in it. Now you want to try and spray some starting fluid out? The throttle body is on the bottom, so you got to kind of probably for you to spray it and get your head back so you don't get backfired. Oh, well, it's getting fire. It'll just let me try it again. Well, she's not going to run all that well. She's missing about 2 or 3 spark plug wires, which I think I have some. Well, that's good. I guess I can get some spark plug wires and probably grab the Tesla, get a Noid light tester and make sure we got injector pulse, just out of curiosity, to see if we do have injector pulse. If we do have injector pulse and we have fire, there's a good possibility this thing may just need a fuel pump. Let me get some plug wires and maybe Noid lights. Alright, so now there's another plug wire on here. The other one's been plugged in. And yeah, now we've got a Noid light hooked up. We're going to see, I believe we have ignition on. Let me triple check. Pretty sure the ignition's on. Yep. Alright, now we're going to jump it and see if we got Noid light. Hopefully we do. We do not. So let me try and switch out Noid lights and make sure my Noid light isn't the wrong one. Alright, so we have Noid light 2. And let's see if we can see it down in there and try that. We'll see if I can get a good camera angle of it. Nope. That is not working at all. So we're not getting injector pulse. Alright, so I'm back once again. Sorry for just kind of bundling all these kind of videos, kind of quickly rushed together. I'm just trying to get this thing running and driving as soon as possible. Just kind of excited about it. I stepped away and took a break from it because I did try and spray more fuel into the intake to try and see if it would run, and it kind of sputtered for a second and then backfired real bad, and I was like, that seems odd. Something didn't seem right, like we were getting fire and then losing fire and stuff like that. So what we did is we threw a tester on it to see if we had spark, and we don't have spark. Now, I did check and see that we do have power to our coil. Now, I'm not real familiar, because I don't really remember with this on why I may be losing spark. So we're going to try and dive into that and figure it out. I did learn, though, which I did order one, and hopefully it works. But in here, as you can see here, this was your ECM relay, which goes, it's the plugins here, but it tucks up way up under here. And this, as you can see, was extremely rusty. Now, as I was doing my digging for that one, I found this one, which is your fuel injector pulse / whatever you may call it, fuel pump relay, which goes underneath the driver's seat. And somebody has already partially bypassed that, so I don't know if it's actually working or if I need to get another one, but I have a kind of replacement for this. We're going to throw this on there and see if we get fire back. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get a camera strapped on me to where I can show doing that. I'm just going to plug this relay in and then we'll try and jump it. Alright, so this is what we have here. We have our old relays. One of them's been bypassed. Hopefully it's fine. If not, I'm going to have to order another one of these. These took like a day or two to get in. But here's my new one. And it looks like the plugins are the same. That was my concern because nobody really showed them matching the exact same. So yeah, we're gonna hope that these are the same from what I can tell, and we're gonna try and do that. Hopefully this helps, because yeah, I don't want to have to continue to do this and mess with it, you know, more extra stuff. Now keep in mind, a shop had this and they could not figure it out, so I'm hoping, you know, I can get it figured out. No, I'm saying I'm a lot. Let me go ahead and get the camera set up on my chest so you can actually see me doing stuff and I don't have to hold this camera. Alright, so hopefully you can, you know, see me better. I'm hands-free, stuff like that. What we're going to do is we're going to hook up the battery, which you can already hear some type of clicking going on. We kind of got a ground kind of shoved in there a little bit. Let's see, get this kind of in there a little bit better. Can't really see it all that well, but let me make sure we got ignition on. We do. Now what I need to do is go grab over here a little jump starter, and we need to see if we've got spark. Let's see. Maybe. No spark. Now we do have power going to the coil. The question is the coil any good or not? Let me try, and actually we should be able to see if we get fire just by yeah, we're not getting any juice at the coil. Let me grab a test light just to make sure we still got juice from the coil. Let's see. Sound hot. This light is working. Power to the coil, power to the coil. Now we do in fact have power to the coil, and we're not getting spark. So my best guess is maybe the coil is having issues. I'm not fully sure. Oh, well, that wasn't fully plugged in. Did I get... The little module here was not fully plugged in. Let's try that again. Maybe it came loose. Let's see if we got... And now we got fire. Wow. Okay. So, I don't know if you guys seen that or not, but this little module here that goes on the side of the distributor was actually partially pulled out. So, that could have been our problem the whole time. Let me grab a Noid light and see if we got injector pulse now, because now we have spark, which is great. Alright, so this is going to be a little hard to record. I'm going to try my best to get that Noid light to sit there, and hopefully we turn my ignition back on. Hopefully we've got Noid light. Let's see. Oh boys. Oh, boys and girls. We are in business. Well then, I think with a good fuel pump, which it probably needs it, she's probably gonna run. Wow. Okay, let me get this all back in there and plug in my injector and just spray some fuel in it, let it run a little bit longer, see if I can get it to run a little bit longer. But that is a plus, because the mechanic shop couldn't even get that going. So we're already ahead of the mechanic shop. Let me go ahead and do that and we'll go from there. Requires a lot of fuel. Well, it runs. Alright, as you can see, we made it run. And we have injector pulse, we have spark. Now I just have to figure out the Ford fuel pump, get it working, because it probably has power, but it's probably just old crusty fuel. So I'm probably going to have to drop the tank. Yeah, I'll probably hook up some type of customized fuel system to at least make it run a little bit longer, see how everything does. I got to get a belt for it too, because it doesn't have a belt. And I noticed the smog pump down here is locked up. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Maybe I'll figure out a fuel pump, something like that, and then I'll get this recording back on and, you know, start doing all that. But you can see it runs, which is a huge improvement, and that's more than what the shop could do. They couldn't do that. So we're in the right direction. And yeah, this is like the second or third time that something from a shop has come to me and I've figured it out. But yep, let me go ahead and get that fuel pump figured out, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so while we're waiting on a tank, a fuel pump, stuff like that, we've got a nice customized fuel system here that we made a while back for just testing stuff, make sure vehicles run or stuff like that. You know, because people like to say, oh, just needs a fuel pump. Well, we've got an old S10 fuel sending unit into a couple of wires and a fuel pump into a 5-gallon hydraulic tank, and we basically just got it hooked up with the old fuel pump lines and just ran straight there. And then we've got it ran to an inertia, the inertia switch, so we're getting constant power. We're about to see if it's going to fire up. So we've got key on. Sounds like it's pumping fuel. We are in neutral. Let's see if it'll run. little bit of exhaust leak, and it may have a couple injectors that might need to come around, unless it's cammed, but I don't think it is. It could be because that intake's off too. She's puffing a little bit. I wouldn't think it would be cammed, but it sounds pretty good. I wouldn't think it'd be cammed. Sounds like it might have a bit of an exhaust leak. I'm not running all the best. It could be because of no intake. Probably hadn't been running in a long time. And there's no telling if they've got the right firing order set up on it. Sounds pretty good. I can't tell if we got a tack or not. Definitely down on a cylinder or two. Looks like we got oil pressure. Oh, you think so? Oh yeah, definitely is. Yeah. Well, it's running. It's smoking from everywhere, but it's running. Doesn't sound too bad either. Well, as you can see, it did run, and we got it to run off of its own fuel system, kind of, sort of. The fuel pump is entirely too much. It has like 60 psi. I think this is supposed to be like 30-ish psi. So yeah, so it was flooding it out pretty bad, but we did kind of kick the fuel pump on and off, and it smoothed out. But now I gotta get a belt. So I pulled a belt off of my 85, which doesn't have a smog pump, but the belt was entirely too short. And not to mention, this pulley feels a little rough, so it's probably gonna lock up at some point. But anyways, the belt was too short, so I need to get another belt. And once I do that, then I could probably run a little bit longer. But then I was looking, I'm gonna need more than just the belt. So we're missing a hose clamp here for main radiator hose. We have a cut hose down there that we're gonna have to fix. And I was looking at the radiator, and it appears it's been leaking for a very long time. Looks like this is broke kind of when you jiggle it. This hose is, you know, a brick too. We've got this coolant hose. It's got a hole in it. We have a coolant temp sensor that the harness is, you know, shredded on. Might have to fix that. Got some customized wiring for the injectors. Might have to customize that and figure that out. Yeah. So I'm going to try and get a belt, maybe a radiator, hose clamp on that, and fix all the water leaks that it may have so we can run it a little bit longer, make sure it doesn't overheat, nothing like that, make sure it shifts. But yeah, our customized fuel system worked out pretty good. And again, I don't know if I explained it all that well, but this is a fuel pump out of like a 2002 S10, which was entirely too much pressure, but it worked. And we just had it ran to the inertia switch with a couple clips, and it seemed to do fine. But yeah, let me go ahead and try and get that set up and get it all figured out, so maybe we can run a little bit longer. Look at this up here.
Oh man, that thing there looks fucking brand new.
Yeah. Alright, well hopefully you guys can see something. We're going to try and crack this tank open and see how the sending unit and everything like that looks. I have a good feeling that it's in brand new perfect shape. by the way the tank looks. Alright, we're going to try and crack this open and see how newly used this sending unit looks. It's slowly moving. Dang, was it that easy? Yep. Oh, except for that stuck. Oh, Jesus. It is a tad bit stuck. Never had that issue before. This unplugged from here, I think. Yes. And this can come up and out. And you're welded, so how in the world are we going to do that? Maybe you'll free up. Really don't want to have to hit that, but does not want to free up. Oh yeah, that's good quality. Oh, there, she's free. Them tabs have to be bent up? I wouldn't think so. Oh no, there we go. Just a little stuck for the last 20-30 years probably. There we go. Oh yeah, that gasket's in perfect shape. We'll reuse that for later. Come off there. Surprisingly, the gasket still has like an elastic to it. How are you supposed to get these out of there? Oh, like that. Oh, yeah. Oh. Yep, looks like a tank full of rust. A lot of rust. That's not good. I have a very strong feeling that this tank is not any good. Very strong feeling. Let's take off our harness. That should just unclip. Set you there. And if we flip. See, my concern is that there's literal pinholes in the bottom of this tank, and there's fuel sitting on the bottom of this tank. There's a good possibility. Yep, this tank is not good. You can see it in the map, but there's pinholes in this tank. Well, and you can tell with the amount of rust falling around inside. I don't know if you can see really good in there or not. My sending unit doesn't look very good either. I don't think I'm gonna be able to save either one of these, but it will take them out for entertainment, I guess. Oh. That one came loose. Take that one off. You're probably permanently stuck too. Yep. Oh yeah. Pretty sure we're gonna need another tank. Oh, well, this fuel sender, well, it's coming around. Oh yeah, look at that, some PB blaster and it'll be brand new. I can try and fill this up full of water and see what it does, but I have a good feeling this tank is bad, which is not good. We're balling on a budget here, and the tank was not in the budget. Not at all. Alright, well, I'll figure out what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to order a tank and a fuel pump, we'll see. Yep. Alright everybody, I'm back underneath here again. I've got my new tank, my new fuel pump, my new sending unit, my new seal. All it finally came in after like a week and a half of waiting. So yeah, now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get our harness and all that set up, get our fuel lines ready. I probably won't record a lot of this, mostly because it's, you know, it's not real entertaining. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get all this set up, get it ready. Might clean this up a little bit, get the rust off of it. Up here, your little filled neck there. I got some grease that I'll try and use because this, if you know about these, they know they're super hard to get in there. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that and come back to you guys. Maybe I'll stop halfway through and show when I'm partially way through it. Alright, so we got the fuel tank hooked up underneath there, all ready to go. We're gonna see. It's going to kick it neutral. See if it's gonna run with its own fuel system. Hopefully there's enough fuel in there. Let's see. It's taking a second to pump up the fuel all the way. Coolant temp sensor is also not connected, so it may not run 100%. But no leaks so far. Might go ahead and get it off these ramps so it'll not run out of fuel. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and try and get it off these ramps real quick. I don't think I have any brakes, so we got a gear. That's first. Not slowly crawled off. I have no belt too, so I have no power steering or nothing. I got a massive vacuum leak in my brake booster. It could be caused not to run right and backfire. Sounds like gunshots going on. But it's running. I'm going to try and cut it off and plug that vacuum up so it stops doing it, hopefully. Oh. Well, we got the vacuum plugged in. We're going to see if it still does anything. Still skipping. It's not backfiring anymore, which is good. That coolant temp sensor could be bad. It could be causing it to act funny, but it's running. Absolutely horrible because the emissions smog pump has got a pretty bad leak to it, so it's causing a pretty hefty exhaust leak. Well, it's running, it's smoking a little bit, mostly out of one side. I did order a new radiator for it because this one's cracked. Can't run it a whole lot because I got no water pump, no water, but it runs. What I might try to do next is get a belt for it and possibly put the radiator in and see if I can drive it down the road. Yeah, once I get done with that, once I get back to you guys, get a belt. I already got a new radiator. But yeah, I'll come back to you guys. Alright, so we're back again. We're going to remove this radiator. I still have yet to get a belt for it. We're going to get one here soon, but I want to go ahead and get my new to me Chinese radiator in. The reason we're moving is because this one right here is broke. So we're going to go ahead and swap out my new Chinese radiator that looks like it's close enough. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try and do just a quick video, hopefully a time lapse, to show me just tearing this down, getting it out, swapping in the new one. We'll go from there. Alright, so I'll show you guys what we got going on so far. We've got this top hose off. I'm going to take this one off once it's out. Get the fan shroud off. We don't need to remove the fan because we'll be able to shove the old one in there. I just got to get that hose off and we'll be able to come right out. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get this bottom hose off. And man, while I'm doing that, and I'll tell y'all what, doing this whole YouTube stuff is a lot more than you would think. Because I have to move my camera, set up my camera, you know, just kind of do, I'm more of a productive person where I like to get stuff done, and having to set this whole YouTube stuff up can definitely be a little bit of a pain, but we're getting her done, and hopefully I can help somebody out there that needs the assistance. It's still got coolant in it. Well, still got water in it, but it's not wanting to come loose. It's fighting me a little bit. Let me grab something to pry on that to get it to come off. Alright, we got an old body clip tool that hopefully we can use to try and pry the bottom hose off, which it kind of works. Now, something tells me, as much as I don't want to spend any more extra money on this thing, I feel like I am going to have to buy hoses, as much as I don't want to, and which is still I'm going to try not to. We're going to try and reuse these old hoses for temporarily permanent. Wow, for a bad radiator, it still had some water in it. I think it was mostly his top hose. Let's see if we can get this up out. Oh my god. Why is it way more than the... Oh yeah, that's good. Puke all over the car. This old thing weighs more than the new one. Let me get you guys over here to see it a little bit better. See the old one. Alright, so this is our old radiator. As you can see, it's a little thin, but up here was our biggest issue, was where it was leaking all down it and all around it and everything like that. You can see it was leaking a little bit down there too. This hose is a brick. We'll try and use it, but it's probably not going to last very long. I did notice something when I was loading up the car, which really sucks, but they are replaceable. If you look down here, somebody did the usual BS, hooked to the core support and just ripped on it, and unfortunately they did bend it. It is rusty already, but they bent it and made it even worse. So it's probably going to need a lower core support. Probably could cut it out and weld a new one in, I believe, but yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that hose off and get our new Chinesium radiator, throw them back in here and throw the hoses on it. Hopefully it all works out good, because I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see if Chinesium works, because I think that was like an $80 radiator and it's aluminums. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Figured I'd just quickly show you guys. As you can see, there's old Chinesium, or the old factory one, about 2 fingers. You can see you got about another 2 fingers there. As you can see on this one, we got plenty for 2 fingers room. That's like 4 fingers of radiator. And this was cheaper than an OEM. Nice aluminum. It's got the spot for the transcooler, but we do not need it because we ain't got no transcooler. We got a manual. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get this one thrown in there, get my old hoses thrown on it. But it should get new hoses, but we're trying to do this on a budget here. As you can see, I'm not much of a big YouTuber. I've got entirely too much into this car already. So yeah, I've had no support on this, no, you know, funding, nothing like that. This comes out of all my pocket, and I pretty much do, you know, all the work myself, other than my dad helping me constantly. But yeah, I get No funding towards this or anything like that. No sponsor, nothing like that. I do all this myself. I pretty much do it in my front yard. So, yeah. So I'm gonna get this one back thrown in there and go from there. Well, I just got it all put back together, and I realized when I went to put my fan shroud on, my bottom clips weren't in. I was like, wait a minute, I thought they slipped into the core support. And then I realized that I pulled a word you can't really say on YouTube what I am. But I pulled it and realized that I was missing these little clips off the bottom of the radiator that hold the fan shroud to the radiator. So now I gotta pull it back out because I can't seem to get it in there with it in the car. So yeah, gotta pull it all back apart and do that again. So we'll get right back to you. Alright, now I've got this nice new custom radiator that's in here. Now it's all put back together, and I'm an idiot. Now, maybe wondering why that is, other than my usual stuff. This radiator, when I pulled it out, was full of rusty water. Now, instead of doing the smart thing while this radiator was out and flushing it, I decided to throw the new radiator in there, and yeah. Hopefully it doesn't clog this radiator up. We'll probably end up flushing the system once we get to it, but as of right now, my amazing dad is going to get me a belt that'll hopefully work for this so it'll actually pump water. That way I can figure out all the leaks. You know, like here, down here, which I'm going to have to fix. Probably should have fixed that while thinking about it and got another hose. But, yeah. He's grabbing that belt. And I'm going to try and fix a lot of the leaks also. But yeah, that's kind of how to put a radiator in a Fox body. Nice aluminum, custom aluminum radiator to keep it cooler. Radiator cap is not in the best spot. Looks like it's in a not very good spot. And I'm also kind of crushing my wiring harness here, which I may need to unloosen and pick up my harness because it's currently stuck in between my radiator. Didn't see that. So yeah, we're gonna get the belt. He's getting the belt. I'm gonna try and fix his hoses and come back to y'all. Alright, so it was about 30-ish minutes later after I kind of got stuff figured out. What I've done is I've got new hose there, newish hose here, radiator and all that good stuff. Well, I realized that once I did all that once again, and I did that special word that I can't say on here, yeah, the cooling system is full of rust, so I'm going to fire it up, move it out of the way. Oh, my dad also got me a belt, by the way. But I'm going to fire it up, move it out of the way, and try and flush that system out before I clog up my new radiator. So I'm going to go ahead and move it over to where I need it and go from there. As you can tell, it is not running all the best, so I'm gonna figure that out also. Alright, so as you see, we got it over here. We did try and flush it by sticking a hose in this end and trying to let it come out through over here, but the problem is the thermostat. We're dumping cold water into it. I don't want to dirty up my new radiator. So we're dumping cold water into it, the thermostat's not wanting to open. It spit out a little bit when I let it get warm and then put the hose in it. But yeah, it's really not wanting to cooperate without that thermostat in there. So we're gonna try and figure out if we can get a way to get that thermostat out and then flush this whole system, so I'm not putting a bunch of rusty water back in my brand new radiator. Well, it was a good thing I was convinced to try and flush the system out, because this is a thermostat, and as you can see, it is rusted shut, but it does have a few minor rust holes through it that may have let some water through, but not enough for the thermostat to actually work. This thing, as you can see, just crumpling in my hand, which I've never seen a thermostat ever do that before. Thermostat housing doesn't look too hatefully bad. It's definitely full of crust. And then down here at the actual engine, it's got a thick layer of crust on it also, so that'll also need to be flushed out. But probably going to have to get some type of gasket maker, because the gasket that was on the thermostat is not any good. Yeah, so I'm gonna figure that out and get back to y'all. Alright, so unfortunately I have to end the video here. I have hours and hours and hours of video that I have to try and mash down into an hour of video, and I don't want to make the video like 3 hours long, so I'm going to just try and cut it down to around an hour. But for now, we got it running. Got the system somewhat cleaned out. I need to make sure it runs right and do all that good stuff. So unfortunately I won't be able to drive this video. Or make it run right this video. I will have another one coming out on it shortly. I haven't uploaded in a month. I want to try and get something out. So yeah. Alright, so yeah, that'll probably do it for this video. That's my $1,000 Mustang, notchback Mustang with 302 V8 in it. Keep your eyes on the channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, everything like that, because next time I will be uploading another video on this car, making it run right, making sure it drives and everything like that. I'm just running out of time. Too much footage. But yeah, I appreciate everybody doing all those good things. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace.